Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here with We Write About Music, and today I am speaking with Devon Alexis. She has just released a lovely new track called Love That You Lost It, and I am super excited to talk to her all about it. Devon, thank you so much for taking the time. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you as well. I'm really excited for this.
I'm really excited for it too. Like I said, yeah, you're right at the top of the year, and what better way to kick it off than with amazing music?
Yeah, my thoughts
Um,
exactly.
First off, how was your holiday season? What happened? Anything crazy, drama?
Little drama.
There's always some drama.
There's always some drama, but overall pretty good. I was supposed to go visit my family, but part of my family had a little bit of a medical issue, and
Same.
they're okay. They're okay. But yeah, that kind of went kablooey. But I still got to see the other side of my family, and they
Gotcha.
were great. And it was really nice to see them because I haven't seen them in about a year. So,
Wow. I think we all honestly had identical holiday seasons. Mine was
really?
also imploded by a terrible family medical emergency.
Oh, no.
And yeah, so here we are, but everything is sort of on the right track. But
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
Anyway, this is a podcast about music, so we're going to talk about that.
Sounds
I
good.
want to talk all about this song. It's out on January 13th. And first thing that I really want to know is what is it about? Is it, like individual stories within one song? Is there one message you're trying to get across? I want to hear all about it.
Yeah. This one is one of the easiest songs that I can explain that I've written because it is so specifically about one situation that
Perfect.
um so I I had the opportunity to work with with a festival and kind of I was the social media manager, and my boss wasn't exactly perfect.
Yes,
Um,
happens.
yeah, so he ended up trying to cheat me out of like all the money that I needed to be paid for the work
Sure.
that I did. Um, the festival changed locations like three times. I kept telling him like this is getting ridiculous. This isn't ethical or fair to anyone. And he was
Sure.
like, no, it's going to be fine. Everything's going to be great. And like, he just kept pushing off everyone's concerns and kind of lying to everyone and making it seem like the problems were coming from different places other than him. And
Sounds
I
like
kind of,
every manager ever.
yeah, true.
Just saying.
um, so hopefully people relate. I mean, actually,
Yes.
not hopefully. I hope people don't relate, but I'm guessing people
Yes.
will. But essentially, it's me taking out my frustrations about the whole situation. Because at first, I was like really upset over this. Like it was, um, there were a bunch of things happening in my life at that time, and I felt like I was kind of losing control of things, especially with this. And it eventually like I kind of ended up on top, and he wasn't very smart about a few things, and I was like, that you have to pay me, you like signed a contract, like I have
Yeah.
a friend who has a cousin who's a lawyer, like a contracts lawyer, and I just kind of was like, no, I'm like taking back control of this situation. um so the song is really about that, and kind of being a little snarky about it because at the point that I started writing the song, I was still angry. Like it
Yeah.
was after a specific phone call that I had with him. And I just started writing. I was just like, oh, you're gonna be so mad like
That's
when
the best
I'm
way though.
gone. Yeah. So it's just all about that, really. And then the ending part, there there's a little bit of a twist. And I decided to be like really sarcastic and just satirical at the end and pretend to sympathize while the words don't really, if you listen to them closely, like I'm not actually sympathizing. So
Sure.
yeah, that's kind of it.
Nice. Well, I will say that I'm so happy. Well, first off, I'm upset for you that you had to go through this situation because that sucks for everyone. But
Yeah.
also from a music and like artistic standpoint, to actually experience something and write about it instead of just
Mhm.
manufacture problems out of thin air to write a
Right.
song. Because what better, I mean, headspace to write in than when you're in the
Exactly.
moment living it. Plus, it acts
Yep.
as a time capsule and also a learning lesson for people that may go through something similar. So I
Absolutely.
love
And
that.
like I feel that way about like some music that I listen to. Like I feel like I'm learning, like I can put myself in their place and be like, "Oh, I'm not going to do that. That
Yeah,
I'm going to be careful with that." So I hope that like my music can bring about some of the same feelings in other people.
totally. I think it's a very relatable situation. Even if it's not the same, you can take those words and kind of apply them to your own life. I really like that.
Mhm.
Um, Another thing I'd love to know though is like, so you obviously you operate as a solo musician, but do you have any
Yeah.
outside help in terms of like production or mixing, mastering, putting things together? Like, how does it work in your world?
Yes. So I have a good friend of mine is my producer,
Nice.
mixer, masterer. He does everything.
Sure.
His name is Brady O'Keefe. He's a very talented musician in his own right. Um, and yeah, we really met. It's actually funny. We met because of the guy that I wrote the song about.
Oh my God. All
And
right.
we released a different song. So my debut single was Brix. And that was the first song that we started working on because I happened to play it like when um, I was near him and he was like, I could finish that in 3 days. I was like, okay, here you
Be my
go.
guest. Yeah.
And so I sent it to him and like he ended up doing that work for free actually,
Nice.
which is I didn't intend for that to happen, but like he was just very like into it and like he wanted to do other songs with me and um so this is our second one and
Nice.
we kind of I usually write the song and then kind of bring it to him and he's like, are you sure about this lyric? Like so it ends up being pretty collaborative in that like I bring him like a draft but then we work it out together and like we've added sections to songs like full sections that I
Mhm.
never even thought of adding before so um it's a very collaborative process. He's more than a producer,
That's
really.
really cool. I'm actually so happy that you brought that up because it's something that I was going to ask you about. Is like, this is your second official single. What are some things that you took from the first one in terms of learning process and even just like the approach? Because especially as a I guess emerging independent musician, you're always trying to refine, you're always trying to change up things like, and it's just constant learning. Like what has changed?
Yeah, that's a good question. Um, I think I've I'm less scared.
Okay.
I think in my first single, I was a little bit more scared to go like to color outside the lines.
Okay.
Um, Even though some people would say that like that song still colors outside of the lines, which
Sure.
I was I was kind of scared to do. But like this song is like a little wacky in a few places and I'm like whatever with it. Like I'm happy to do that now and excited to do that because what's the point of putting stuff out there if you're not going to be different and like be
Exactly.
yourself? So like I'm a wacky individual. Like I feel like a lot of musicians
Sure.
can probably relate to that. Like we're kind of weirdos. So I like to put a little bit of that in there. Um, and some of the things that are the same, like I I think most important the most important aspect of a song to me is the lyrics.
Sure.
I find that a lot of times nowadays, yikes, um, lyrics and songs kind of don't make sense all the time.
They don't at all.
Yeah,
Well,
it
okay,
bothers me a
I say
lot.
at all, but it's like you could pop on the radio for an hour and you would just be like, "What the hell am I listening to right now?"
Yeah.
But there's this whole other world of undiscovered music that exists, and it's just like, if people just made half an effort, they could discover so many amazing artists.
Yes.
Sorry to
Exactly.
interrupt you, keep going.
No, not an interruption, just
Okay,
an addition.
alright.
Um, but like I just it bothers me because it's like handing in an essay with typos and
Completely.
I just don't get it. So like I think it's really important to me to have like lyrics that flow and make sense with each other and like um if they don't make sense there should be a reason.
Correct.
So like and I used to be this kind of goes into something that's changed is I used to think that the vibe of a song had to stay exactly the same like throughout and
Okay.
like it should be like very cohesive and it should be pleasing to the ear. Something that I did in this single is I had a really abrupt change near the end that is not really pleasing to the ear. Like it kind of like you can see how it gets there, but it's like very abrupt. And some people have commented on it and said like, "Oh, this is abrupt. You should like have a little bit more of a lead into that section." But the reason it's abrupt is because I was trying to say something with that because like one of the main lyrics is like uh people close to you like could be like sociopathic.
Sure.
So like the main idea of like a sociopath is a lot of times they're like two-faced and so and they can turn around on a dime like going from like being very nice to being like very um like mean, not um
Yes.
you know. So I wanted to speak to that with the change in the music being so abrupt. So that's why that change is there. And I get a little bit of an icky feeling every time I listen to it, but I'm like, that's good. That's what I want. Like, it's okay to make people feel icky.
I agree because at the same time, it also makes you think, and it's outside the box music creation, as I'm
Yeah.
sure you notice, and it actually is like in the similar vein of what you're talking about. Everything does feel very similar nowadays. People are following formulas, and
Yeah.
there's not a massive amount of music that makes you reflect and actually want to dig in deeper.
Right.
This breaks that mold, which is such a necessary thing in music, no matter the genre. So good for you for doing it. It's tough, but someone's got to do it.
Thank you.
Um, Another major thing I wanted to talk about here is you pull from so many different styles, genres in your music, which definitely goes like, with the lyrics and the sound and just like the aura of your music. What is the elevator pitch for your music as a whole? How do you explain it?
How do I explain? Sorry, I missed a little bit. My genre?
Yeah, like what do you call it? And there's no right answer and there's no wrong answer.
I mean, I think there are a lot of right answers and there are a lot of wrong answers,
Yeah.
really. I'm
Sure.
not folk. Um, I'm not polka. But
Okay.
other than that, um, the whole, I'll bet everyone says this, but the whole idea of genres is just so, I don't know,
No, no, you're
frustrating to me
you're right.
because, yeah, but if I were, when I try to explain my genre, I usually explain it for each song. So I would say for this single coming out, it I've usually explained it as like a dark pop
Okay. Yeah,
alternative
sure.
situation.
That's fine. I,
Yeah.
I I think it's definitely up to whoever listens, but obviously you're the one making the music, so your word
Right.
matters the most. I also, because I do ask that question frequently, but I think it goes to show that we're kind of in like the future of production. Like pop music isn't just pop, rock isn't just rock.
Right.
So much is pulling from other people because everyone's a multi instrumentalist, or you can put a
Yes.
patch in there and now it's this. And it's like, I think it just gives so much more opportunity for music as a whole. And
Absolutely.
I mean, that's kind of where we're at, which I really enjoy. Um,
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we're at the beginning of the year here, so who knows what's going to happen for you? But like, I would hope that this isn't your last release of the year, and if it is, that's cool, and if it's not, fine. But any chance of experimentation? Are you always trying to try new things within your music?
Yeah. Um, I I want to do like one of my goals is to write a song in every genre, actually.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Yeah,
even if I don't release it,
sure.
um, like I've written country songs, I've written obviously pop songs, like dark pop, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Um, I I joked about not doing like not being folk or polka or anything, but I've tried to dabble in those. I'm not quite there yet, I don't think.
Takes
Um,
time. Those are hey, those are tough.
yeah, they
Clearly.
are. Props to folk and polka
I
people.
really can only think of Weird Al, to be honest, when it comes to folk and polka, but that's
Yeah.
my limited knowledge.
Yes, I mean, I should probably listen to it more if I'm gonna try and emulate it, but
Yeah,
that's neither here nor there. But yeah, and I actually I'm in a band locally, and we
nice.
do like pop rock sort of stuff, and
Sweet.
we do write some of our own music. So I've been getting into the like a little bit into the rock scene, and then I'm starting up a new project that is actually like pop punk.
Okay,
So
yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
starting to write some punk songs, and that's really fun because like uh, I can kind of take the anger from
Yes.
other situations. I like punk. I've decided. It's fun to be angry sometimes.
It's a blast, especially when music is your outlet.
Exactly.
And you can't have punk music without a little bit of anger. It's almost
Exactly.
impossible. So,
And like a little pity for yourself.
oh
Like
yeah. Oh yeah.
anger and pity for yourself equals punk, I think.
Wow, you should get that printed on a t-shirt. It's possible. You just crack the
Yeah.
code. That's it. I love that. So, well, first off, I didn't know that you were in other projects, so that sort of defeats the purpose of this question. But for you as a solo artist, do you have any plans to play live yourself? Obviously, as you're building a discography up, but are there plans in the works, basically?
That is one of the things that I need to get over my fear of. It's interesting because I I originally thought that I would perform my solo music live before I was ever going to be in a band, but
Okay.
the opportunity came up mid last year, like May, um, to be in a band with some people that I um, had met years ago. Actually, it's was really happenstance, and um, so I've gotten so used to playing with a band now that I am afraid to like just be myself on a stage live.
Sure.
Um, but hopefully, like once I get some more songs out there, like I'll feel more comfortable and be able to do some stuff just by myself. And to answer your question, yes,
Okay.
that is a
Cool.
goal to play live as a solo artist. And I'd love to like maybe take a year off of work and tour someday.
Totally.
Um, but who knows?
Hey, time will tell. And listen,
Yeah.
there's no rush. Um, I have a couple more questions for you. I want to know, and you've already sort of touched on a few things, but so as I mentioned, we're at the top of this year. What are like some lofty goals or some things that you'd hopefully like to accomplish by the year's end?
By the year's end. Um, well, so my last single was released in March um, of last year,
Right.
and this one's being released in January. So my goal is to never have a year between songs.
Okay.
So that'll be one of my goals is to finish another song.
That's a major goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially since we haven't started working on any yet. But that's not to say I don't have any songs written. I have too many songs written.
Sure.
But producing them is a whole nother story, and getting them ready for all the distributing and
Mm.
such. So I'd like to do that. Um, I think kind of going back to the live performance thing, I'd like to try maybe opening for a band or something, like just to get myself out
Totally.
there in the live scene, because right now I'm just a recording artist.
Mhm.
But that would be a lofty one, because seeing as I only have two
Right.
songs out, but that would be kind of cool.
Nice. I
But
think you'll figure it out. And again, there's no
yeah,
pressure because in being an independent musician, there's no steps 1 through 10.
right,
There's no guidebook. You kinda just feel it out, you figure it out, and you forge your own path. And I think that's kinda what
absolutely.
you're gonna do. But whatever it is, whatever happens this year, I'm looking forward to it. I really like your music and the way it sounds, and
Thank you.
I'm invested. So my my last question for you here is basically for the person that's going to discover you from this, what is an opening message that you'd like to say to them before they listen to your song for the first time?
Whew, first impressions. Oh boy. Hmm. I would say don't worry about what you think I think the song is about, because I want everyone to interpret it differently. There are some parts that are kind of hard to interpret differently, but if if you have any desire to like look into the lyrics, please look into the lyrics, because I spent a long time on those.
Sure.
And that's like kind of my proudest accomplishment in music is the lyrical aspect of it. So um, if you're one of those people that deep dives into lyrics, do that.
Nice. I think that's a perfect closing message.
Great.
Devin, I want to thank you so much sincerely for taking the time out of your day to do this. It really means a lot. Please give me the opportunity to plug your music for you one more time. If you guys didn't catch it the first time around, the song is called Love That You Lost It. It will be officially out on January 13th. We will have all the links in our articles so that you can listen and share and follow along and just generally stay up to date with everything. I know I will be. And yeah, thank you so much again for your time.
Yeah, thank you. This has been awesome.
You're very welcome. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and
You
I hope
too.
to speak soon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.